Record crowds came to Cleve Hill, Cheltenham for the opening of the Bath and West Church, with champions of the cattle world taking a proud place in a magnificent display. Two interested spectators were the Duke and Duchess of Gloucester, who spent plenty of time studying new aids to the farmer. Sporting items were given a colourful touch for the parade of hounds. Sheepdog trials, too, had all their old fascination. At one point, things didn't quite go to plan when one of the sheep had the nerve to start an argument with the dog. And with that small trouble settled, everything ends as it should. Other displays were even more energetic, in spite of the heat, with horsemanship proving another high spot in a show reflecting all the good things of a country life. Brilliant sunshine on the lawns of Buckingham Palace made an ideal setting for the first royal presentation party since before the war. On the palace roof, news cameramen worked with special lenses to get close-ups of fashion at the best-dressed event London has seen for over 8 years. Moving about the lawns, their majesties and the princesses spent a happy time among their 5,000 guests. These included 1,000 debutantes, for whom this garden party was to rank as a court presentation. Queen Mary, too, was there with a gracious welcome for many in the large assembly. And so, once again, the unique atmosphere of a royal garden party returns to its former place in the life of the capital. Founders' Day at the Royal Hospital, Chelsea, was the occasion of a visit by Princess Elizabeth. After inspecting the veterans of many gallant campaigns of the past, the princess made the anniversary address.
In these days, when we see so much change around us, and when the age of many soldiers serving today is similar to my own, it is more than ever of value that those who are following in your footsteps should be able to learn by your example the soldierly qualities to which your service and your appearance bear witness.
And now, to a well-remembered tune, the ranks of the old brigade march past in a soldier's tribute to their princess. Sweltering in some of the warmest weather for years, Britain's townsfolk are getting as near the water as they can, and for these lucky Londoners, the Thames Regatta at Teddington is a more than welcome break. Even the smallest breeze helps, and for those without sails, here's one way of getting the man at the wheel to do all the work. Yes, in these days, is it any wonder the Thames is getting as crowded as Piccadilly? Let's take a look at a new motorbike constructed by a British engineer and his son. This 1947 model shows itself well able to cope with this kind of thing, to say nothing of being very easy to dismantle in time of need. Altogether, a very creditable job and a tribute to the enterprise of its makers. Arriving in Athens by air, the Duchess of Kent is welcomed by her mother at the beginning of a short stay in the Greek capital. King Paul and Queen Frederica, cousins of the Duchess, were also there to join in an affectionate family greeting.
Ships of the home fleet assembled in Portland Harbour in readiness for the summer cruise. The flagship was the 35,000-ton battleship Duke of York, and 2 other ships of her class were also at Portland. The cruiser HMS Diadem was in company. And here's the battleship Howe. Led by Duke of York, these famous British warships, which played so great a part in winning Allied victory, now steamed out on their peacetime exercises. They will pay visits to various ports, and the climax will be reached in July when the Royal Naval Review is to take place on the Clyde.
Nearly 2 years ago, the 14th Army reached the end of one of the longest and hardest campaigns in the history of war, the immortal struggle finally crowned by triumph in Burma. Since those far-off times, the men who wear the Burma Star have gone their separate ways. But now, at the Royal Albert Hall, comes a day of reunion, the first the jungle fighters have had since VJ Day itself. Meeting on a day that must have recalled the Burma climate, 5,000 veterans exchanged memories and sang the old song. Then, from the loudspeakers, came the voice of the former Supreme Commander of SEAC, Lord Mountbatten, who recorded a message specially for the occasion.
This port of SEAC was first set up. Today, Sebastian is here to share with you the privilege of wearing the Burma Star.
And now, the 14th Army's great leader, General Bill Slim, has a chat with his old comrades in arms.
Good to be with you chaps again. You look very much the same to me in your nice civvy suits as you did in your sweaty old jungle green. And you sound much the same. Although this is a rather more commodious barsha than many I've heard you sing in. But in 1942, when I first went out to Burma, the retreat was on. And I came out as a new corps commander. And I was rather full of myself. And I went to a divisional headquarters. And while I was there, somebody rang up on the telephone, and a voice said, "I am General Wang Pu of the Chinese Army. Is General Slim at your headquarters?" And the signaller who was taking the message put his hand over the receiver, and he looked round. Then he said, "Is there any something Chinese general called Slim around here?"
Ending on a typical note, General Slim rocks the house with a reference to Sawyer Link, the 14th Army's best hated ration.
We're here tonight to enjoy ourselves. And let's do it. I hope there's enough beer to go round. At any rate, there'll be more than you had at most of the parties I gave you in Burma. I'll give you a guarantee that whether there's a lot of beer or there's only a little beer, there are no Sawyer Links.